Toastmasters and guests, let us welcome Anne Hardy for the fourth night with her speech, There's No Place Like Home. Anne Hardy.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. My question to you tonight is, where is home for you? Is it that place that you just come from? Or is it even now the one that you're sitting thinking, I can't wait to get back there? Is it this beautiful country of Australia? Or perhaps it's somewhere else, somewhere far away, somewhere that makes your heart beat rapidly like a drum every time you hear its name mentioned. For Dorothy, it took a tin man, a lion, a straw man, a wizard, for her to discover just what home meant for her. So tonight, I ask you and say, there's no place like home. When I was a baby, my parents carried me through the streets of the city of Birmingham, looking for a place to live in the UK. My father would go and knock on the door, and the landlady would stand there, looking at him. A few words were spoken. She would look over his shoulder and see my mother holding it at the bottom of the path in her arms. That was me. She would shake her head and the door would close. When they did eventually find a place to stay, and that was only one room, if it, the baby, made a noise, then they would be penalised by having their gas or electricity cut off. I'm told that for the first 2 years of my life I slept in the bottom drawer of a chest of drawing unit in the bedroom. There's no place like home. Between the age of 5 and ages of 5 and 17 or so, I had at least 6 homes. My mother would see a council house that she really liked, or she would have an argument with the next door neighbours almost every 2 years. She would go and get the key from the council, and within 2 weeks we would have moved into a new home. I went to the north one Christmas when I was about 12. Came back home to find that they'd moved. Fortunately, they told me where they'd gone to. There's no place like home. When I was 18, I left home to go to Crewe in Cheshire. There, I trained to be a teacher. I married and had my children. Now, Cheshire is a beautiful county. It's known for its black and white Tudor buildings, its green pastures with dairy cattle grazing. Crewe, the town that I lived in, is known to be the home of Rolls-Royce, where my husband worked at the time, and it's also the centre of the railway network. They say that many people go through Crewe, but not many people get off. Now, Crewe was the place where our children grew up, so it has wonderful memories for me. And even now, I can picture their first bedroom. I can hear them playing and laughing in the garden. I can see them on that first day at school as they go down the path. But I can also see that very first day when they walk to school on their own, and I'm crouching behind the trees and the bushes, hoping that they don't see me. There's no place like home. After 25 years of living there, we moved to the Cotswolds, a beautiful picturesque town called Stow-on-the-Wold. Now, Stow-on-the-Wold is very high above sea level, and it has been known to be cut off when the crisp white snow is as high as the hedgerows at the side of the road. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And even there I can still see my cat coming nose to nose with the squirrels through the glass door. I can see the carpets on our lawn of golden daffodils. It was there that we had our daughter's 21st birthday party in the marquee on the lawn, and our 25th wedding anniversary. The early morning walks, I would see the deer leaping through the mists. I would see the sunrise in literally a blood-red sky. The trees overhung the pathways, and dry stone walls bordered the fields of red poppies or yellow rapeseed. There's no place like home. And then another move. And this time to Australia, where kangaroos hop down the main street and everyone wears a hat with corks, according to my father. And of course, everyone says, "Good day." And so on January the 2nd, 2002, my husband and I left our family and friends. Our son of 21 waved us off in a taxi, and we flew out over a white blanket of frost all over the UK to come to Australia. The intention was to be here for 9 months. 7 years later, we're still here. In that time, family members and friends have died. Our children have gained degrees. They've had ceremonies that we couldn't go to. They bought houses. And they've got married. And we're still here. There's no place like home. I want to ask you again, what does home mean to you? I want you to think for a moment. You see, I believe that when we left our home and our family, we left home. But home is not so much a place as it is defined by the love and the relationships that we find. When my husband and I had our 35th wedding anniversary, we were told home would be where the two of you are together. And over the past 2 years, that has proved right. Let me just finish with a story. John Howard Payne was a man walking through the streets of London, Paris, one dark night. He was dejected, he was ill, he'd had misfortune and bad things. And suddenly a door opened, and there in the floodlight stood a man on the doorstep. Happy children leapt into his arms, and the welcome look in his wife's eyes was just a joy to behold. The door closed. John Howard Payne went dejectedly to his attic room, and there, by the candlelight, with tears streaming down his face, he wrote the song, "Home, Sweet Home." You see, in that brief instant, he had a glimpse of what home really was. Not a place, but the people that made it. Many this week have got homes in tents, and they are thankful for the people and the relationships and the love. So I ask you again, you don't need to answer. What does home mean to you? Because as Dorothy said, there's no place like home.